gonna mute the mics anyway.
You think I changed? No. I just stopped playing nice while getting disrespected. I started treating people exactly how they treat me. Respect me, I respect you. Ignore me, I ignore you. Cross me, I cut you off. Simple. Life isn't about begging for fair treatment. It's about matching energy.
Yo, what's up? Yo. You hear me?
I hear you. What's going on? I hear you, my brother.
What's good? What's good, man?
Well, you know, we
How
back
they
again.
doing, man?
Episode 20. Back again, baby. Episode 20. That's a special number for us. Episode 20 right now. Let's go.
Throw them checks in the
Started out
comments.
there with us. Checked up in the comments so we could get started tonight. Let's go. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go.
Uh, Make sure.
Well, let's go. Let's go. I know it's Saturday night. Start creeping up slow and shit. Let's go. Don't worry about it. I'll bring my boy back up there. Hold on 1 second. I got you. I got y'all. Let's go. Throw them checks in the comments, man. Throw them in the comments. Throw them checks out there. Come on, y'all. Let's go. Let's go. We're going to get started tonight.
Man, my shit bugged out. My
See
bad.
y'all popping in. Let's go. Come on. Throw them checks up in the comments.
My bad. My bad. My shit fucked
All
up.
right, you good. You
What's
good.
good? What's good, though, man?
Ain't shit, man. How you is on this Saturday night, brother?
Good. Little cool Saturday night. Kind of chilly outside.
Who else out there with us? I see you, Tosh. I see you up in there. Who else out there with us tonight, man? Throw a check in the comment. Whoever that is out there with us, throw a check up there, brothers, sisters. Throw it up in the comments.
You probably forgot, man.
It looked like it's a little chilly out there. Where you at tonight, man?
Yeah, but I don't know. It's probably just me. It's probably not chilly, really. I'm just probably chilly.
Oh, all right, all right. I say it got a little chilly early today. We was at about a good 72 degrees, 73 degrees, and
Yeah, I
then that
told
shit
you,
just dropped
anytime this shit drop below 70, I'm cold
down.
now.
Oh, there
So
we go.
that's what it be like.
All right, there we go. There we go. Throw them checks in the comments. Who else out there with us? Throw them checks in the comments. Throw them checks in the comments. I see y'all coming in the room. Throw them checks in the comments so we could get started. What's going on out there with y'all tonight? Yeah, but I'm gonna hit it up there. Ready for the first one?
Yeah, you could go church,
All right, this is
church.
the first question out to y'all. Out to y'all, then that's the first question. Why do parents from the millennial generation allow their children freedoms they didn't have themselves?
Oh, that's a good one. Cause that's one of the biggest things. A lot of parents that's millennials, they allow their kids to do shit that they wasn't allowed to do. I guess it's probably low key or the low, just living vicariously through their child. At
Mm-hmm.
14, 15, you you probably wanted that tattoo, or a female wanted that belly ring, but our parents wasn't going for that shit. So when you got to be a parent, you like, I'm not gonna treat my kids you know how my parents treated me. So you allow them more freedoms and shit. What could be a good or a bad thing, because now this generation got no respect for the elders or anything. So some things is good, like we not that strict, but it allowed to a lot of disrespect and stuff for the elders, and having no respect for anything and no sense of pride for anything.
That's the same thing I was about to get at. Yeah, it's like this generation of kids, it's like they not kids no more. It's like they born from babies. The next time you turn around, they 12 and 13-year-old little adults. So you
Yeah.
know what I mean? That's the problem today. Like kids is not getting a chance to start to like grow up. They just going from a toddler straight to adult. They missing out on the whole childhood. And like you were just saying, like the respect for the elderly people, these like watch these videos all up and down online every day, and you seeing these little kids be totally disrespectful to the elderly people. They running around, jumping
Mm.
on elderly people. You know what I mean? Cursing all out loud in front of everybody. So certain things that we did as the younger, like when we was in that, when we was younger, we knew not to do certain things like that. Like we definitely wasn't gonna be
And
cursing
that's the
all out,
yeah,
jumping
man.
crazy in front of people.
And yeah, that's the perfect example from that shit what happened in Chicago. Like, where was the parents of them kids? Like, none of those. You got one lady talking about, oh, the whole city looking for you. No, you should be whipping his little ass and dragging him down to the precinct to get some damn discipline. That's the problem right there. And all
Mhm.
that. You want to try to
Yeah, that's
show him on the internet to get some likes and shit like that.
Yeah, like that shit is crazy. Like they definitely supposed to, like I don't like that joint supposed to really start at home. Like I don't know what's going on with these generation of parents today when you letting these kids run loose, and especially in this generation, like it's very dangerous out here. You got
Hmm.
kids that's 13, 14 years old ready to run out here and really kill shit. So you got to really teach your kids nowadays to lead with respect. If you're not leading with respect, then I don't know what else to tell you, man.
It's crazy because they all think they don't have to respect. One of the biggest things is so about that my child do that I wasn't allowed to do. I don't know, probably play the game a lot. It ain't too much. I just allow my kids to do because my kids they ain't grown up. That's another thing. My kid ain't grown up in the same environment I grew up in, so it's not much that I have to allow him to do because they grown up in different situations that I grew up to answer that question. But probably one of the things, like the only thing I could think of is probably, playing the game too much because they be on the damn game all day and be on their tablets all day. That's something we didn't do or we didn't even have a period to do that and shit like that. But as far as like allowing them to do the things that I wasn't able to do is I'm kind of happy that my kids grow up in the suburbs and don't grow up in the hood and things. So it's nothing I really have to worry about not allowing them what I was doing, and shit like that.
You got to make them better for the next generation. You got to definitely do that. Like I can't speak too much on that because I ain't got no kids, so I can't speak too much on the situation like that. But if I did have them, I'm I try to raise them the same way that I had came up. So certain things that I wasn't allowed to, like like when I was probably like under the age of 12 years old, we had a certain time that you had to be in the crib and shit. So I'm gonna definitely instill that in my kid. You're not gonna be running around here 13, 14 years old, hanging out all night and doing
Mhm.
whatever you think you want to do and think you grown and shit already. But that's the most I can say about that situation there.
Yeah, because like I said, like that's another one too. Like my kids to have a curfew and shit like that. Like, cause we had to, like, I don't know, cause like I'm saying, growing up in the suburbs is different and all that. They let their kids just walk freely to each other house and shit like that. Living around
Yeah.
different type of people, and you see how they do it and things. It's just different. It's a different environment. So when you be like, damn, uh, you got to come back in the crib when the street lights. We ain't grown up in the hood. They nigga be outside all night and don't have to worry about the block getting shot up and shit like that. So you know.
Mm,
So
definitely.
I probably allow them to do. I probably give them more leniency than I had. I allowed it. Probably vice versa. I allowed them to do a lot.
I think millennials are more gentle with their children than our parents were with us.
Yeah, because our parents was kind of wrong in raising us. Not saying they did a bad job. They just didn't do it. They didn't know no better. That's the only way they was taught from their parents and shit like that. And sometimes they did a good job. It's just some of us was just fuck ups and all that. Our parents had that tough love, hard head, make a soft ass, tough love, shit like that.
Hell yeah. That
You
is
know.
true though. Yeah. I think millennials too. Yeah, I believe. Well, I believe. Yeah, you gotta try a different style of parenting because
Mhm.
when we was coming up, I think a lot of our parents was just doing shit that they seen their parents doing,
Mhm.
and they didn't really know how to be. They didn't know how to be parents. Like especially some of our parents, they had kids when they was still
Young.
fucking really. So they didn't know how to really be a parent. They were just following whatever they mother taught them how to do.
Yeah, I think it was a gift and a curse. You know, that's what I said. I had kids, started having kids 25, a little later than some of my peers. So it was different for me when I started having kids and shit like that. Our parents was young when they started having, like my parents was young when they had my older sister, older brother, and shit like that. You know, so they was like you said, still in their teens and shit like that. So it
Hell
was
yeah. All right, you already. All right, yo, Rod. Good looking, Rod, for checking in, my boy. Hell
that.
yeah.
That
See if anybody out there got a question. Anybody in the audience got a question? Anybody out there got something on the topic?
you know. Wait till you have your first kid, man. But the thing is, you gonna be 50 with a 10-year-old. That's the only thing.
I ain't chasing them around. I ain't doing that shit. I ain't chasing nobody around. I tell them all the time. I got a lot of nieces and nephews. If it happens, it happens. Like I won't be mad or nothing like that. But you know what I mean. I got enough nieces and nephews out here in this world today, man, to go and play with them. And then as soon as I get tired, yo, I'm gonna take y'all ass home. That's what I'm saying. So a lot of them things right there, man, I can't even speak on a lot of them questions and like how people parenting their kids and stuff today. Like I could look from the outside and I'd be like, damn, like some of these parents today, y'all too soft on y'all children. Like
Mhm.
y'all need to instill some more of that discipline in their ass. Put some of them scare tactics back in them. Start going up to the school, sitting up in the classroom with them. You know what I mean?
But
Making
the
sure
thing
you
is,
at the
the
yeah,
CPS got too
on
much
every
involved in the parenting. That's another
yeah,
thing.
yeah, that's another thing.
CPS or what y'all say ACS, whatever, in New York and shit like that. So the CPS got too much involved into the parenting and shit like that, you know. So that
Mhm.
became a big thing. You know, you
But
try
that's
to.
what I don't understand. How can y'all get so involved in people parenting, and then when they grow up and they out here creating chaos and going reckless, y'all want to put them in a place
Mhm.
where somebody can still tell them what to do? You know what I mean? You want to lock the children away and you want to beat them in there and all that, but why I just couldn't give them the discipline here at home without me going to prison? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So when they get older, now you want to throw them, now you want to toss them all in the prisons and shit. Like that's wrong right there. So to me, I believe that people like child protective services like stay out of people business. Now if a kid is getting terribly abused, they not being taken care of, and you could see the effects on them. Okay, now get involved. But if somebody need an ass whooping, that's no reason for you to come and take somebody kids. That kid need discipline. You're gonna take them and put them in another family, and that family ain't gonna give a shit about him either, and they gonna be whooping his ass the same. But she said, hold on. She said, Chris, as a father, would you take advice from someone who does not have kids?
Uh, I personally, me, just my opinion, I don't even take advice from people that have kids because we all got to raise our kids on our own accord. That be the thing. Too many people try to raise their kids off of the advice or the opinion off of others, or like you just said, what they saying their parents do. So no, I'll probably listen. You can always listen to advice or listen to a person, but I still gotta do it my way and shit like that. A person might have an idea, oh, why you don't do this with your kids, but it's still gonna be up to me to handle it my own way. So yeah, like taking advice as far as somebody telling you what to do with your child, nah, but I hear you. But, but you know,
I respect that. I respect that. You said everybody got their own parenting style, so I definitely respect that. And that's why I always tell all my friends and everything, I'm on the outside looking in. I ain't giving nobody no advice on no children. You know what I mean? I could just state my opinion from the outside, but I will not get up in nobody business about
Like
no
even
children
when,
because that's one thing I don't know about.
like even when my peoples come to me and tell me about their kids and shit, I don't give no advice. I just sit there and listen, and then, you know, ask them what's their solution, what they gonna do. But I can't really tell you how to raise your child, and shit like that. I could tell you what I would do if that was my child, but as far as you gotta figure that out on your own.
Yes, definitely. You gotta figure it out on your own. Anybody else got any questions out there for us tonight, man? Y'all got any questions? See some checks up in that chat, man. Who else out there chilling with us tonight, man? I know it's Saturday night. It's getting cold outside. Come on in and chill with us. My boy Cheese, what's going on, Cheese?
It was
Hmm.
good, chief.
Who else out there with us? Who else out there with us? Come on, y'all. Check on in. Check on in. I see you, twin. That's my boy. Check on in here. Let's go, y'all. Let's go. Get them checks up in the comments. Throw some emojis. Throw anything you want up in them comments. There we go. There go my boy. There go my boy Rick. There we go. There we go. Hmm. Y'all got any questions though? We were just talking about the topic of why do parents from millennial generations allow their children freedoms that they didn't have? Ellie, are you against CPS? I'm against CPS if it's not warranted. Like I was stating earlier, only way I could be against them kind of people if you are trying to come into a house and you trying to take children away because they need discipline. Now, getting the ass whooping is not warranted for people to come and take your children out of the home. You know what I mean? But if you are physically and you are starving your children or something like that, by all means,
Yeah.
yes, you can
But
take
nine
the kids
times
out of
out
the
of
home.
10,
But being disciplined, no. A school
mm,
should not be able to call in and say, "Hey, he came to school with a little weapon on his leg or something." Now, if he got thousands of scars all over his body, that's a fucking assault. They should be in prison behind that, and the kid should be removed from that. But getting the ass whooping, no, I'm not against CPS, but I am against them trying to discipline people, children.
mhm. And like my answer to that is like CPS sometimes they don't really help families. Like they'll see a mother struggling, knowing that it's hard for her to find a job. She's struggling right now. She's trying the best she could do to feed her kids and shit like that. And come make the problem worse by taking the kids out of the home. Now she really gonna go through it. She don't know what you don't know what she might do now that they took her kids from her instead of them giving her resources and helping her out and shit like that. So sometimes CPS is warranted when, like you saying, the child's being abused for no reason and being starved and shit like that just from neglect. But as far as the mother struggling and doing the best she can, or are you saying like a kid just need their ass whipped? Yeah, CPS sometimes take it overboard and it don't be warranted. Um, that's all I
Appreciate
say.
that, Rick. Definitely, Rick.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. So, that's all I say.
Hell
Sometimes it don't be warranted. But if it is, like the solution should be like if it's child protective services, you protecting a child from neglect and abuse. But let's
yeah. Hmm.
protect these mothers and help them out with the mothers struggling and shit like that. We're not talking
Because
about a mother that's deliberately doing drugs and shit like that.
hmm hmm I was just about to get on that. I was just saying that, like, if you would take the children out of the home and put them in a foster care, and you'll give another family money to take care of these children instead of y'all giving the money to the family and help them take care of the children. I don't understand the system how y'all can do that.
That
Like,
shit
why
is
would you
retarded.
pull the children out of the home the
That's what I
same way?
don't do.
That's what I don't get, brother. Like, I really don't get it. So the system is like really rigged against people when that happens. Like, you take their children away from them You give them to somebody else, and then you give these people a check to take care of that child. You could have gave that
Instead
check
of
to the
giving
mom
them,
to help out.
yeah, to help her out. If you know she can't, let's give whatever you was giving to these foster parents a month to the fucking mother per month, so she can put food in this bitch. While you coming in here taking pictures about why she ain't got food and shit like that. This shit is crazy. Mm-hmm.
Yes, that shit is crazy. I don't understand that. I really don't understand that. Like, all right, she don't have no food in the crib. She can't really help her out. Then don't take the children out of the house. You can help her out because you ripping the children away from the mama, and then the mama got to fight. She got to fight real hard to get them kids back. She got to straighten up to 1,000% to get those children back. And y'all got her children all split up in the system somewhere, and y'all giving them all out to different families, and y'all giving that money to these different families who don't give a shit about these children. Instead of
Mm-hmm.
y'all taking some of that money and you can go and help out the moms. Like if the mother messed up, I understand. But if the mother out here trying, give her some of that money and you could keep those children in the house and you could keep those children together.
That's what I don't get. But you
I
got
really
money to
don't.
give to foster parents, though. But you just can't give it to the real parents. That should be stupid. Like that's dumb.
I
You
really
know.
don't get it, brother. I really don't get that shit. I'm telling you, man. Like these people is crazy. Like this system is really like really fucked up. Like it's a real fucked up system for them to do that to parents and things like that. Who is this right here? We got a question from somebody. There's an episode on TV called Atlanta about white lesbian couples taking in black foster kids. Have a bunch of black kids. They were doing it for the check. Yeah, that's
Good
exactly
for
what we
them.
were
Good for
saying.
them.
Yeah, that's
Good for
exactly
them.
what we talking about, man. Like that shit is wrong right there. Like you already take the children out of their home, out of the comfort of their home, split them up, put them in a whole foreign looking family to them, and then you give these people some damn money to take care of them children instead of y'all just shedding that money out and keeping those children in the same home. Like this system is rigged, man. The system is really fucked up. America got to get their system together.
Yeah, that's what I said. That was good for them because they man, that shit is crazy. You just
Yeah,
doing it
that
for
shit
the
is crazy. Who else out there with us, man? Let me see some check in there. Check in the chat, man. I see the chat growing up there, man. Check up on in there with us, man. Well, let me see if anybody got anything before we move on to the next topic. Let me see what she said. I know people who use that as a hustle. If they using that as a hustle, then that's crazy.
they
Like,
going to hell, man,
yeah,
already.
they going to hell, man. For real. Like, you can't use stuff like that as a hustle, man. You can't be getting kids in the home and you trying to stack up all of your money. Like, that shit is wrong, man. Like, y'all know better than that. Whoever doing that out there, man, stop doing that today, man. Your ass going to hell. Let me see, right? What you said? We got another one. It's too much corruption going on within the government. Hell
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
everything,
I'm not
man.
gonna lie, it is. Like it is a lot of corruption. It's a lot of fraud things going on in the government, but I don't know to what levels of fraud and all that things is happening for them to catch it. You know what I mean? Because it's definitely people doing bullshit out here for the to these services. This is why we got them Republican people today trying to cut services from people who really need it. Because you got people out here playing the system, acting like they really need it. They can't get up off their ass, and they need to get up off their ass. Say, yeah, I seen it personally. Hold on, we got a call from somebody. Let me see if this is a real call. Who on the mic? Where you calling from?
Now, what up, bro? It's Rick, bro.
Yo, Rick, what up, my boy? What's going on with you, brother?
Yo, look up. I want to know how you got a 718 number and you out there.
I gotta
That's
keep
all
that
I
number.
want to know. How you got a 718 number and you out there, brother?
I gotta. You already know, man. I gotta keep the 718 number.
Yo, Brooklyn all day, brother.
You already know, my boy. Appreciate the
Yo,
call, my brother.
I had to call in. I had to call in, bro.
Go ahead. What you
I'm
talking about?
telling you, brother. I had to call in. Yo, I love the show, man. Y'all always talking about positive things. I love that, brother.
Definitely, brother. I appreciate you, Rick. Definitely, my boy.
Yeah, man, just tuning in, checking in on you, brother.
All
Yo, I
right, my boy.
appreciate all the love that when I send out that message. Man. I appreciate it.
Yo, definitely, yo, hey, yo, definitely, yo. You could do me one thing, man. Just like and share this to everybody, brother.
Yeah, you already know, bro. You know I'm saying to everybody that we all work with and everything, man. I was talking about this other day and shit, man. You
All
already know
right,
how it is, bro.
definitely, brother. I appreciate you, Rick.
But listen, keep me in your prayers, brother, because I got trial coming up soon. Keep me in your prayers, brother.
You
You
already
already
know,
know.
my boy. I got you. You already know, my brother. I got you,
All
definitely.
right, brother. Y'all take care, man.
All right, my boy. You have a good night.
You too, brother.
All
Later.
right, later. Yo, yo, yo. All right, we back. We back. Definitely, man. I'ma definitely keep my boy in the prayers, though. Definitely, for real, for real. My man Chief said out there now. He said people use kids to get money and government assistance all the time. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
fraud shit
man.
that we're talking about, Chiefs. Go ahead, Chris. You can talk about it.
Yeah, man,
Yeah,
people use
man.
their
So
own
you said,
kids, not even, foster parents are using the kids. People use their own kids to give government assistance. So the shit is crazy. It's nasty work out here. Like, so that is foster parents doing it. People use their own kids to do it. They have 6 kids. They got 40 years of government assistance and food stamps, man. What the fuck? Had 3 older kids, then had 3 younger kids after the youngest one from the first 3 turned 18, then turned around and got another 18 years of cycle of this shit. So, you do the math on it. You then have 40, 30, 40 something years of government assistance.
Got to break the cycles on that shit, man. Like they see
Hmm.
what's happening. They seen what happened this past 2 months before everything start to open back up. Whenever these people can feed you, they gonna control you. So my advice to people is, if you don't need that shit, get up off your ass and go out there and make it happen for yourself. That's my advice to all my people. Anybody who body able, get up off your tail and go out there and make it happen for yourself. Because a lot of people out here is fraud in the system, and that's messing up for our elderly people, our
Hmm.
elderly, disabled, and then those children who really need those benefits. It's people out here who really don't need them things, and y'all out here frauding the system. And we need to really cut that shit out, man.
Yeah.
See if anybody got anything before we move on to the next topic. That one went over a little bit, but we good. Do anybody got anything before we move on? Let me see some checks out there before we move on, man. Anybody check in, man? Throw some emojis, some checks, something in the crowd before we move on to the next topic. See what he said. Exactly why they say your life is what you make it. You have to want more in life. You have to have the drive in mind to want to break the cycle. Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, definitely. You got to. You got to have that mindset. If you don't got that mindset and you get up every day and you tell the world that it's somebody else's fault, or you put something in your mind and you say I can't, your your whole existence could just go away. Like, that's what people need to stop doing today. People need to stop putting that in their mind, is that they can't. Once you say I can't, you're gonna give up. Your whole mind gonna give up on you, everything. So replace I can't with I will
that
figure it out. You know
nigga
what I mean?
Haney
Don't say I can't
beat
today.
Brian Norman.
You know what I mean? Like take that out of your vocabulary tonight. Take I can't out your vocabulary and say I'm willing to try, or I'm willing to figure it out. But stop saying what you can't do. Because if you wake up every day, you breathing, you out here in this world, you have the possibility to make your life much better.
Nigga Devin Haney beat Brian Norman.
Oh, you did? Oh, all right, all right. Some people just comfortable having bare minimum. That's the sad part. And that's the truth
I
though.
stay content. People content with life, man. That's the thing. Like they just content going to that regular 9 to 5 job, being a regular associate or whatever, not trying to be in management or anything or move up the food
Yeah.
chain or even get a promotion or anything. People just content with life and shit like that.
They definitely gotta, yeah, you gotta definitely have a plan. You gotta have some type of drive or something. You can't just get up every day and saying it's everybody's fault, or you gotta get up with this victim mentality every day. You gotta get up and say, yo, you know what? Today life is gonna change, and I'm gonna win today. You gotta start saying that more in your mind, like, yo, I'm gonna win. So, That's why you that's why you know, Nelly, I teach them girls confidence and hard work ethic now from babies. Told them I need a lawyer and a doctor. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, you definitely right. Lawyers and doctors, those are great professions. And I always tell people that, like, don't let nobody tell you if you out there and you got one of them professions and you working, you a sucker or something like that. Nah, that's a great profession out there. You trying to make sure you get your kids to be a lawyer, doctor, or some type of judge or something. You know what I mean? We need more people on the inside to make the future better.
Hmm.
Definitely. While we was even talking about that though, we're gonna roll into the next one though. I ain't see that many checks out there, man. I see we got people out there, man. Let me see them checks in the comments before we move on to the next one, man. Come on, y'all. Let's go, man. Throw some emojis, some checks in there, something, so we can move on to the next topic. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. There go my boy. There we go. We see them start coming up. There we go. There we go. Come on, y'all. Bring them up in there. All right, we're gonna move on to the next one. Act like they scared to check in and everything. We're gonna definitely. I see y'all. I see y'all out there. All right, here go the next one though, right here. Mm. Does privilege always come from race or from class, money, and access?
Mm.
How you feel
That's a,
about that
that's a good question.
one?
But the first, yeah, I guess it's two parts, two answers, two part.
I said
It's a two-part answer. I mean, the first answer to that question is it definitely comes from race. Privilege started from race. Started from the classification system where the Europeans started making, the race systems, making black, white, making poor class, middle class, upper middle class. The rich and shit like that. So it definitely comes from starts with race, your color of your skin. That's the first part to that answer. And nowadays, money can buy you privilege. It don't matter what color your skin is.
it
if, you
doesn't matter.
got, if you got enough money, that green, green is the new color. So that's
That's
the
it. That's
second
all that
part.
matters in this world today.
Hmm.
You
Because you
said,
got a lot of people.
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
Because you
brother.
got a lot of people with money that got privileges that normal black people don't have and everything like that. So, but the first part to it, it starts with race and then, you know, money comes into it afterwards. You got enough money, you can buy enough privilege.
Definitely. Yeah, that's 100% right on there. What you
Don't
said.
get too far because they'll bring you back to life like Diddy and them.
Definitely. Mainly race, but there are other things that contribute to privilege. And yes, and just to go off what my man just said, it's definitely other things that contribute to privilege. And like at the end of the day, race does play a big factor in getting privilege because like I always tell people all the time, you can always find the poorest white man in the same room with the richest black man. And if people don't believe that, you just look around at all these country clubs and all these golf clubs. Just for instance, our president. If you go down to Mar-a-Lago today, you ain't gonna see no really poor colored kids up in there. You're gonna see a bunch of poor white kids up in there. And what these white kids are doing is gaining access. They don't gotta have money at the time. They just gaining access to be around a certain crowd of people. So it definitely start out with being a certain race for you to gain this access and have this privilege. And then so fast forward to today, like Chris was just saying, if you got a certain amount of dollars in your pocket, you can get access as well. But just don't try to think you bigger than they system when you have a certain amount of dollars because these guys will shut your ass down. You could go back and you could look at people like the Bill Cosbys, the R. Kellys, the Puff Daddies, Red Fox, like throughout our history, Richard Pryor. All these guys met some type of fate dealing with this Hollywood industry. So you got to be careful when you getting access to certain things out here today. But definitely, money does play a big factor in getting access today. All above race, money plays the biggest parts. Yes, definitely, cheese. Definitely, you're 100% right on that right there. It definitely plays the biggest part. And like I always tell people, in my mind, race is going to play the biggest thing to get the privilege.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter, like, because if me and another white guy walk into a room, we can have the same credentials and everything, but you know who they most likely are going to pick.
because like you just said, the poorest white guy still look at the richest black man like he low, like he below him and shit like that. Like who this nigga think he is? That's what he'll say out his mouth and things like that. Like yeah, yeah, uppity nigga and shit like that. So it just
I'm
is.
telling you, that's man.
It
It
always
definitely plays.
start with it always start with race, but like you said, you know you see all these type of these rich people was hanging around the president and shit like that. So you know things like
That's what
that.
they
You
want,
got
access. Everything is about access. That's what you got to do in the system. You got to gain access. Like sometime you got to just hang around these people. You don't even got to say nothing. You got to just look, watch what they doing, and gain that certain amount of knowledge and access to them. And then you might one day be joining a damn club or something. I guess.
like young boy, man. The president, he got money. You know, president pardon him. So you know,
Yeah,
but he
that shit
pardoned all those. But he also pardoned all those broke January 6 people. So it's just, you see that that's how it
the
goes.
race. At the end of the day, it's the race. And
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like you said, it don't matter about money sometimes. It depends on the situation. So, like you said, in that January 6th thing, it was all about race. It was all about showing loyalty and it was all about race. Said, hold on. Also can be where you were born. At example, like a person from the suburbs have certain privileges that a person from the hood don't have opportunities at birth. A person from the hood has to work 2 to 3 times harder to break the cycle of living in the hood. Yes, yeah, I
Yeah,
believe that's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
got it. Yeah, Chris.
Yeah, yeah, that's true to a certain extent. You know, because still maybe that black person from the suburbs still got to go through certain things in schools and dealing with them white schools or maybe the different neighborhood diverse schools and shit like that. So he might be privy to certain privileges that the black kid in the hood don't have, but he still got to go through the same, as far as saying, you know what would we say, same racial, social inequalities. So you know, monetary thing. He might, yeah, he might be good on the monetary side, but the racial and social injustices don't matter where you at if you black in America. You know what I'm saying? So that could be true to a certain extent. Just because he might be privileged to eat in the mill every day and don't have to worry about gunshots going off,
Mhm.
it's not the same, as he still got to deal with the same racial inequalities that the person in the hood has to.
Not a black man in the suburbs. I'm just saying. Oh, I'm saying a white man. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. But I guess he was explaining to you like if it was a black kid in the suburbs too, like what they would have to go to as well. But yeah, definitely, if it was a white kid in the suburbs, he definitely gonna have a better chance and a
Mm-hmm.
better head start. And you know what I mean?
But
And sometimes that comes from, people having better plans and having children
hmm
or, you know,
just things that was passed, like, because a kid in the trailer park gonna have a better chance than a kid in Compton. So it's still,
yeah.
it's still about race.
Oh,
He
okay,
got.
okay. I got you, bro. I got you, bro. Yes, think about Carlton and Will.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're right. But you got to think about it. If Will was somebody else, Will last would have been in prison.
Mhm.
Will had access to some good family members. You know what I mean? So everybody is not afford to have a damn uncle as a judge or something like that. So
But
we
you
got
seen when they got pulled they over by the cops and they got locked up and all that, and Carlton was crying and talking about why they treating us like that and all that and shit like that and everything, because your ass is black at the end of the day. It don't matter if you're in the suburbs or the hood, where you come from.
that episode. I hated that episode, bro. Like
Yeah,
Carlton,
man.
if one of my peoples was really acting like Carlton that day, I think
Mhm.
I would smack the shit out of my motherfucking cousin. Like Carlton, I'm not even gonna lie. That episode of Fresh Prince made me so mad. That dude Carlton,
Man.
and it's really black. Because the thing about it, what made me so angry is that we really got black people out here that's like him for real,
Mhm.
and they really
Mhm.
believe that they live in this certain kind of neighborhood. They are not projected to racial profiling and things that happen to them because they live in a certain kind of neighborhood. Listen, at the end of the day, number one, your ass is black. They don't care about who your father is. They gonna find out about that shit later.
Yeah, that episode was one of the man. That's why I said.
Yeah, you're right about that shit. And I go through a few of them shits. I ain't gonna lie, cheese. A lot of them
Yeah,
shits look more fucked up than the projects, man. I ain't even gonna front. Them damn trailer parks be looking crazy as hell, man. I feel like I'd rather go back. I'd rather go back to the projects than living in them shits. I ain't even gonna lie. Them trailer parks be looking. Them shits be looking grimy. How they say them shits is grimy, man. For real. Stuff all over the place. Speed bumps all over every goddamn where. The houses is full. The little trailers falling apart. You got motherfucking cats running around on one side of the joint. You got dogs running around on the other side of the joint. Nah, I'm good.
yeah, that's what you got to teach your kids like that. Because Carlton, and all of them, they never experience anything like Will experience outside of where they neighborhood and everything. So if you pervy to have your kids not get it out the mud, teach them about being black in America and shit like that, and what they
Yes,
might have to face.
yes,
You know,
yes. And you
it's
gotta let
good
them
that
know
you.
that what he said. Hold on. He said the meth labs in the back. Then he said brownstones be fucked up too up here. Horrible. Oh yeah, yeah. A lot of them
Yeah,
shits be falling apart.
them
Yeah, a lot of
shits be
them
worth
falling
three
apart. They be
million
looking nice.
dollars and all that stupid shit.
They be looking nice from the outside. Then when you go inside, that shit be a total wreck in the inside. So that shit be a front on the outside. You see the nice bricks, nice colors. Go up in the inside. The whole inside of the crib is fucked up. Mm.
Shit's crazy.
But yeah, but what we saying though about like the access and shit, you got to definitely teach your kids that it doesn't matter what they try to do or what they gonna do in this life. That they got to just know that certain people is gonna have access to certain things that they may not have.
Mhm.
What he said down there, go inside. Hold on, what he said down there. Go inside. Shit look like the house on Home Alone too. Hell yeah,
Big facts.
that shit crazy. Yeah. Who else got? Anybody got another question out there? Y'all got another question out there?
Let's
Yeah,
see.
that
I'm
shit is
trying.
funny as hell. Though. But yeah, we was talking about just to update the audience. If anybody just came in, we was talking about does privilege always come from race or from class, money, and access?
Yeah, man. That's why you gotta. I don't know.
Like I said, I look at it all the time. Is that
Because it
it's just a
started
race
with,
a lot.
that's what I'm saying. The Europeans started it with the classification system. Then, that's how it trickled down. So,
And nowadays, like that class of systems, that shit is gone. There ain't even no class of systems no more. You either out here working and struggling poor, or your ass got a lot of money, or you know what I mean. That in between for just working people, I think that shit is dead, man. Let
Hmm.
me see what she said now. When we have privilege to own, they only gave us privilege to stunt on our own people, not enough to stunt on them or to beat their system. Want to answer that, Chris?
What she said?
It's right here. When we have privilege, they only give us enough privilege to stunt on our own people, not enough to stunt on them or beat the system.
Yeah, they're not gonna give you. They're not gonna allow you to they really do anything for you. Like you see all these millionaires, all these 100 millionaires. Why they not? You know, they say they give back to the hood and they do a lot of philanthropy, but I don't see it reaching none of these kids in the hood and things like that. So that's something that and people still listen to their music and still worship them and still argue about this celebrity and this celebrity beef or this celebrity drama and look at this celebrity couple and want to try to mimic that couple relationship and shit like that. So, it's just crazy, but they're not giving back to the hood really, like the people who really need it. Like all y'all got hundreds of millions of dollars. Y'all can't all give 100,000, $1 million to build rec centers and things like that. So yeah, they can't do it. They just could do it stunting on you and then making songs called Brokey and all that. And y'all go and y'all running around calling each other Brokey, but y'all broke on the shit. Man, it don't make no sense.
That shit is crazy, man. There we go. There we go. But hell yeah, that's definitely true though, man. And I don't understand that. Like some of us got that privilege, and it's like I guess it's the system that they telling them that yo, hey, listen, you only gonna get a few people. Don't even dare and try to even bring this many people with you. You gonna go ahead and grab you 3 or 4 people with you, and the rest of the motherfuckers gotta stay. If you dare even try to sneak the fifth man, and we killing the whole operation on your ass.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. None of that shit definitely reached the hood. None of that. That's why I tell people all the time when they saying they donate to all these charities and giving back all this money, they give away tens of millions of dollars to who? Because the hood is still fucked up. So I don't understand where all this tens of millions of dollars is going to. Y'all saying y'all giving away to these charities? No, no, no. Take that money and you come in there, and I want to see y'all breaking ground like we were seeing ghosts on power and shit. You know when ghosts we want to see y'all take the money and do what the hell Ghost was doing on power. He out there with the Chevron breaking grounds and bringing sentence back to the neighborhood and shit. We want to see some of them damn Queens Child projects really in the hood.
But that's what I be talking about, man. They can't do the shit that they say. Mhm.
Join is crazy, man. For real, man. I don't understand them, man. Yeah, we got enough on that. Let me see anybody else. Anybody else got anything out there before we ever reset and move on to another one? Let me see some checks out there with y'all before we reset and move on to another one, y'all. See who out there with us tonight? Who out there with us, man? I see we got a little room full out there. Come on, let me throw y'all, man. Throw some checks up in there, baby. About to move on to the third topic right now. But if anybody else got something to put on there, let me see what he said before we move on. Just for example, New York City got a mainstream rapper from each borough that millionaires. We don't see no school champs, don't even see them creating more jobs, at least for their own personal neighborhoods. Yeah, none of that shit is happening. Ain't none of that shit definitely happen out there. And that's the shit that we definitely get on about. Like you got people like Fat Joe and them always coming up here. He making up all his lies and his stories like he was robbing 70 niggas by himself. All them bum ass stories. Like Joe, bring your well, he ain't Fat Joe no more. That nigga Mini Joe now. So Mini Joe, bring your ass up to the Bronx and stop all those fucking Trinos and Chatainos, whatever them niggas is, from killing each other and all that shit up there in the Bronx. You know what I mean?
He said he
Everybody
had
raised,
70.
like
He said he
first
had 70
your
niggas.
ass back to Marcy and stop letting the motherfucking Jews buy the whole block over there. You want to talk about all that shit and all that. You know, you got people, but I'm not gonna lie, you know, you got Nas doing a few things in the community and all that shit, but it's not enough, man. You need a lot of them guys to really come back and give back to the community and stop with all them charities and bullshit. A nigga said sus Joe. But for real though, yeah, you know them niggas be coming with all them bullshit lying stories and all that, man. Like really come back down here and give back to the neighborhoods and things, man. Like we ain't trying to hear all them bullshit 1940 45 stories that he telling and knowing damn well he lying. You walk up in the gym and rob 70 niggas and you just point. Everybody take everything, go. Like who the fuck this little fat nigga thought he really was? Like
Like a
nobody like
nigga,
some of these niggas be getting shit twisted. Like a lot of
like a
them dudes,
nigga beat fat dog.
you know what I mean? You around a bunch of other niggas who be putting in all this work, and you be telling they stories, and you acting like you went in, and you act like you really went in there and did all that shit. Like that was crazy, man. You be saying some wild stuff. Yeah, cheese. That nigga be talking crazy on that goddamn that podcast with him and Kiss. Joe be out there. Like even Kiss know he be lying. Kiss like, yo, I gotta go to the bathroom, man. I'm getting up out of here this time, man. I gotta go.
Cause
I'm
like
telling
this
you,
nigga be
wow.
bugging, man.
Yeah, besides Nas, because he gonna create more jobs with that casino. Hell yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Nas is bringing real shit back to the job. And I'm not gonna lie, Jay and them tried to bring the casino to Manhattan, but they shut them down. So I don't know who they made, who they got, who bad side that they get who they got on for them to get shut down like that. Cause usually whenever Jay-Z trying to put together some shit, they usually allow him to do it. So I don't know what happened with
Yeah,
his
they got
casino.
Jay. They got tired of Jay doing shit and then selling it. That's all that nigga be doing, man. With the bar plays, all that shit. They like, nah, gotta stop letting this nigga build shit and then just sell it.
Oh, she said, all right, but they quick to create a clothing line for us. Of course, yeah, definitely. And
Yeah, yeah.
everybody, but it doesn't matter how much we could sit up here and we could talk about all that shit. That shit going one day out the other. Them people gonna run down to them stores whenever one of those rappers or anybody drops some new clothing. Them motherfuckers
Yeah.
gonna line up overnight out there. So it doesn't matter. We could talk till we blue in our face and tell everybody to try to take your money and support some next shit. But that ain't gonna happen. Oh, we about to bring him out. We about to bring my boy Jay to the stage. See what Jay on tonight. Before we
What
move
up,
on to the
fellas?
next. Jay,
Hey,
what
what's
up, my boy?
good?
What's
What's
going on
good?
with you,
What's
my
good?
brother?
Hey, man.
Hold
That's
on, hold on, hold on. It's low. It skipped a little bit.
Yeah, in the Matrix,
okay.
man.
Nah, it says my son's birthday, man. I had to
Oh, happy
Oh, happy
birthday. Happy
celebrate
birthday,
a little
birthday,
little
bit.
low
man.
man. Word up. Happy birthday. Shout out to your low man.
Yeah, bro. He
Mm,
just turned 4,
I
bro.
gotta use the bathroom.
4 years old. All right,
Hey,
all right,
look,
all right. Happy birthday, low man.
look, look. I got him a little drum set. I think I'm gonna be
Uh-huh.
regretting it, bro.
Wow, he over there. He over there beating on them drums hard.
Man, come on, bro. I'm gonna have to. Hey, I'm gonna have to put some restrictions. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to put some restrictions on that hoe, bro. I was second guessing it. I'm like, do I want to get him a drum set? But I know he wanted it, so I just go ahead and got it for him. You know how we do.
Yeah, you already know, man. You already know. We got to take care of them kids, man. Yeah, we
Yeah,
was we
bro.
was talking about that a little earlier in the show and shit. But before we was about to move on, we was talking about we had a question about access. Let me see what it said. It was we were saying, does privilege always come from race or from class, money, and access?
Mm. He come from all of that.
All right.
You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
about to
He
say,
come from all of that. We
mhm.
know that white privilege is a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a thing. Uh, classism is a thing as well. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, no matter how far you get, you still gonna realize you a nigga. You know what I'm saying? So that may put you at a higher status than the common folk. but that
Mm-hmm.
don't necessarily mean you on a level. So it's all
Got
the same. You know what I'm saying? Everything is based upon class. Like think about this, right? You got these foreigners that come over here. They foreigners, and whenever they get their citizenship and they get a birth certificate, they list them as white.
you. Mm-hmm.
Why is that? You feel me? You
That
got
is
Mexicans. Yeah, you got Mexicans, Asians, all these other type of people. When you look on their birth certificate, when they get their citizenship, when they come over here, they listed as white.
yeah. I don't
You know
get
what I'm
that. Like that's some crazy shit. Yeah, that's wild.
saying? Bro, the reason is because it's a lot of reasons. It's a lot of reasons, really. Like, first of all, you can look up. We all know that the quote unquote Caucasian race is dying at a rate faster than they're actually reproducing. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? So they dwindling out. You know what I'm saying? So they let these foreigners, they'll tell you, oh, we don't want these foreigners coming over here. But on the other side, they bringing these foreigners in and classifying them as white to bring up their numbers so they can still have the appearance of the majority and make us
Mm-hmm.
think that we're the minority. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and that's what I
Like
was telling people about. Go ahead.
Which y'all was talking about? Which y'all talking about?
nah,
We talking about the same
talking
question.
Hmm?
We talking
yeah,
about the same
talking
question
about
about the class and
Oh,
the access.
because it's all about like if people don't realize by now, I say it like black and white is a class. It's not a
Mm-hmm.
race. It's not a color. It's not a. It's a class.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I understand we say black just to be, I guess, like politically correct or meet people where they at, just to, you know what I'm saying? For people, some for people to resonate with that they can understand. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But black and white is a class.
Yes.
You know, because those terms wasn't even used hundreds of years ago. Like those are new terms. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
At first, it was like, where was your heritage from? Are you Irish? Are you, you know what I'm saying? Are you from England or, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Those type of things.
Yeah, it wasn't a
But
such
then
thing of
yeah, white and black was established as a term of status. You know what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying? That's why when
Mm-hmm.
we look at the everything that pertains to black is, bad stuff, blackmail, blackball, you know,
Mm-hmm.
black market, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then if you want
Yeah.
to get deeper with and if you want to get deeper with that, when the people who look into like the Masonic type stuff, it's always black and white. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The checkerboard floor on the Masonic floors is always black and white. It's a class that they trying to put you into. You feel me? That's why they bring these people over here and classify them as white. You feel me? When they
Got
clearly ain't. You know.
you. Of course. Definitely. They're clearly not white. Got you. Hell yeah, I definitely I'm glad. Good. I'm glad to get your take on that, my brother. Word. Anybody else got anything out there before we move on to the next one though? This one probably you probably get motherfuckers to jump back up on in there though, but this one is right here. Is social media ruining relationships or just exposing the real problems? That one out there. We need the ladies out there too. Ladies, check in. Y'all
I
heard it
don't
again.
know.
I'm gonna read it one more time. I'm Dr. Umar, y'all, one more time. Is social media ruining relationships or just exposing the real problems?
Don't do
Um,
that. Don't do that.
I think social media is creating an illusion because of people being an illusion of people having great relationships. So a lot of people is following social media and trying to mimic their relationship off of social media and things like that. So that it's definitely playing a part into certain if your mind is, if you know, so if you're looking for social media and like, oh, I want my relationship to be like that, so yeah, maybe you could say that. But to real people like that don't just pay attention to social media, nah, that shit ain't got really nothing to do with it at all, not to me.
I hey Nelly, can you repeat that question verbatim again?
I got you one more time. Is social media ruining relationships or just exposing the real problems?
I mean, I'll say both.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'll say both. You know, is ruining, and then, I mean, I didn't touched on this before. I feel like it's ruining relationships simply because it got people having a false sense of what life really is. You know what I'm saying? Because I always say, like, you gotta be realistic. Unless you like an extremely high income earner, right?
Mm,
If you got a new car, if you got a mortgage, and you got kids, you probably ain't got that much money to burn. You know what I'm saying?
yep.
Mhm.
Let's just be realistic. You probably ain't got that much money to burn unless you a extremely high income earner, you know? And I think a lot of social media will have you lost in the sauce thinking that these people that showing their highlights is really their day-to-day life when that's not typically the case.
That
Yeah,
There ain't
definitely.
nobody about to show you whenever they're living, you know, check to check or whatever the case may be. Because I think the statistic is, I think they said like 80%. I
eighty-five
can't
percent of America lives check paycheck to paycheck,
check to
man.
check, you know. But then you look on social media and you don't really grasp that because you see everybody just living it up.
That's why I said everybody
Hmm.
living it up. And then to answer Tosh's question, what she said, just social media is
Social media is
exposing
exposing the real issues and setting unrealistic expectations.
the real issue. I don't think like, but is it set like real issues? Like, what are we talking about? Like monetary issues, or men just complaining about women because they really was just ugly dudes growing up and never really could get girls. So now they high value men, or women just looking for high value men, or so. What type of expectations are we talking about, or what
I
issues is
think
it
I
exposing?
think the unrealistic expectations aspect of
Yeah.
that I speak on that is like, you know, you hear a lot of talking points on these different podcasts, you know what I'm saying, relationship based, you know, from the
Yeah.
women's perspective, talking about they want a 6 foot, 6 figures and six pack. You know what I'm saying? You hear that
Mhm.
talking point a lot of times, you know what I'm saying?
Lot of time.
You know, you see that men that could be eligible candidates don't even get a chance because okay, you don't meet the height requirement, you don't meet the financial requirement, you know what I'm saying? So that's a thing, you know what I'm saying? So it don't necessarily, you can be the greatest nigga, you can be Nostradamus, you can be the greatest nigga in the world, but you don't even get a shot because you don't meet those prerequisites, you know what I'm saying? And I get it, you know what I'm saying? I get it because I ain't, you know,
But
I
do
mean,
you
I'm
think one of the issues social media, like
Yeah.
that, they don't, the hidden issue they don't talk about? Do you think, man? No,
Yeah.
I
not
forgot.
say it, bro. Don't let
Hold
it
on.
out.
All right. So she said, "Hold on, I got you. Come back to it, Chris." She said, "No issues." She said, "No issues like exposing cheaters, liars, growing apart, and narcissists."
And that's what I
That's
was
what she.
gonna say. I was gonna answer that question. Like, do you think women just get that word misused, narcissist, and they really could be more narcissistic than men?
Absolutely,
Mm.
Yes, they can, because some women not afraid of the
absolutely.
part.
Like that's a new term. it ain't a new
No,
term.
I thought it was just used for like serial killers and all that for
Yeah,
behavioral
it's
analysts, and
yeah,
then they started using it as just as for relationships. But I thought technically it was used for serial killers. The technically to see if
yeah.
you're a sociopath or psychopath. That's one of the
Hey,
things of a sociopath. You're a narcissist. But then
hey,
when everybody starts saying narcissist, I'm like, dude, we got a bunch of serial killers running around. But so that so I got lost in the sauce with that one.
they say
Sometimes I
narciss
just got too much logic.
they
Right.
say narcissist, and they say what's that other misogynist.
Hmm.
They say misogynist a
Mhm.
lot too. When really that's
They
like the hate of women. When it's like,
Yeah.
bro, we don't hate women, bro. Like you already know how it go. If you speak on the
Hmm.
other side, it's like we got to tiptoe around. If we trying to, we can speak up on men and we can go hard. But when it comes to the women, we got to tiptoe around it because you already know they're gonna label us as misogynistic. You know what I'm saying? When we should just be able to speak freely on whatever.
That's 100% right there. What Cheese said, a bit of both. A lot of problems were exposed by social media. Without it, everyone would have to learn from personal experiences. But social media also can cause trust issues.
Hmm. That's how you keep your business off social media, man. You just use
And
social
that's why I tell
media
people all
to
the
have
time.
fun. Social media is to have fun and just to do what you do, not to show your real life or
Social
just to,
media is another world. People need to
you
stop putting their real life on social
know.
media. Like that's why I tell people all the time. Like if you're gonna live one way on social media and you trying to put out all these things and your life is so extravaganza and shit, and like we just said, 85% of the world is living paycheck to paycheck. Your life can't be that fucking extravagant. So
Because the
stop putting all
15%
that
you
bullshit on.
not part if you part of that
I'm
15%,
saying
you know.
that's what I'm saying. Like, stop putting all that shit on social media because you're not putting the times on social media when your ass got kicked out or when your ass is sleeping on somebody else's couch. You ain't putting that shit on social media. You only putting all the updates on social media. Like nobody is perfect every day, and nobody is doing all this extravagant shit in their life every day. Like, so stop posting all that bullshit on social media and if you are doing that, post everything on social media. Let everybody see the real life of you.
That's what I say.
She said, narcissist
And
has no gender.
that wasn't the
Oh
question.
yeah, we know that shit. Hell yeah, it don't have no gender. We got women who not to play that role as the same as men do it. So it
Hmm.
definitely don't have a gender to it. Anybody who you know, trying to tell a sad story and getting people to feel sorry for them and shit. And then they know they out there still doing other things. Like, come on now, man. We know we all been ran a little game on before.
Like that victim card shit, they could play that good. You know?
Yeah, hell yeah. What she said now? Curious,
Anybody.
do any
I'm not just saying women or men. A narcissist could play the victim card good.
mm-hmm.
Any.
Curious, do any of you share locations with your partner 24/7? I don't think it's necessary, but I would be if my partner wanted to. Which I feel
Yeah, I
about
wouldn't
that.
have a problem with it. I wouldn't have a problem with it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, it don't matter to me either.
I wouldn't have a
I,
problem with
I,
it.
I feel like yeah, I wouldn't have an issue either. But I feel like if that like conversation was to come up, and that's based upon like some probably happened. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Something probably happened to where you feel like you
You
can't
lost
trust your
that
mate to
trust.
where
Yeah,
you
you
feel like you
lost.
need to do
Yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah, something came up.
But yeah, I wouldn't have
Yeah,
that
for you
problem.
just want to start. Yeah, but I wouldn't have a problem with it. Like, it's no problem to me because half of the time, well, shit, 95% of the time, you already know where I'm at. If I ain't at
Yeah.
work, I'm in this damn.
You already know it's
I ain't
not working.
doing all that extra shit nowadays. I ain't doing none of that stuff really.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Anybody else got so many input out there? Who else out there with us? Let me see some checks out there, man. Throw some checks up in them chats, man. Get with us tonight, man. It's a little Chili Cool Night. I know y'all want to come in here, man. Throw some checks up in there, man.
Hey, what y'all was talking about earlier, man? Like I said, it was my son's birthday, and he's still active. Hold on, he's still active right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
What
Hey,
y'all
so
was
what
talking
you
about
talking
earlier,
about
man?
earlier? Jesus.
oh, we was talking about why do parents from the millennial generation allow their children freedoms that they didn't have themselves? That was one of the topics earlier.
Mm.
You came in on the other one. You came in on the second one right there. Then we just did the third one. You got
Yeah,
something on that?
I mean, I mean, I feel like we gotta adapt to some extent. You know what I'm saying? Because you got these kids. I guess maybe I got a cell phone early as well. I got my cell phone in 8th grade. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you got I don't know if y'all consider that early or what, but you got a lot of these kids. They getting their cell phones when they 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? I understand it's a different day and time, and they exposed to a lot more stuff. So you may want to be a little bit more reserved based upon what they can be exposed to.
Nah, but
You know what
the
I'm saying?
time
But
that cell phones got popping, they we was that's like because we all probably had that Boost Mobile chirp shit and everything and things like that.
oh
So
yeah, that was that
yeah,
was that
like
was later.
Razor, like the T-Mobile razors and shit like that. Or so.
Yeah, we had the flip phones. We had the flip phones
We
and
all around the same age. Shit, we all around the same age, right? Chris, how old are you, Jay?
yeah. I'm 36.
They
Oh,
saying
so
hey,
yeah, oh yeah, we all the same age. Then yeah, I'll be 37 next month. So yeah, we all around the same age.
I remember
Yeah.
when cell phones first got yeah, and I was like in what eighth, ninth grade. Yeah,
Yeah, when
Hey,
I
but I
had my
had to.
first
Hey, but
one.
I had to bring that hoe downstairs at 9 o'clock though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like 9 o'clock.
It was the
Bring that
during
cell
cutoff.
phone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let that
bring that
shit go.
cell phone downstairs, bro. But I feel like I don't want to
now
say it's
9 o'clock.
harder.
That's that free nights and weekends. That's when that shit was
All
popping.
right. I don't want to say in terms of parenting. I don't want to say that it's harder or nothing like that. But it's a different day and age to where it's like it's kind of dicey. To where
Hmm.
you want your children to experience their freedom, but at the same time you got to protect them from what they don't understand. So
Definitely.
it's kind of a dicey situation, especially if you never dealt with it, because the age is always changing, and they've been
My man shit went on. Let me go back to search. Social media creates. You good,
at the
Jay?
reality that affects the meaning of relationships. Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that comment. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good. I hear you.
Okay, so
Okay, yeah, yeah. On that comment, yeah, social media it really does do that because people ain't really posting they L's. Just
Hmm.
they not posting they L's. They just posting they wins.
Yep.
And I mean, I get that to a certain extent, but when you get people that get lost in the sauce and really thinking that these people really living a lifestyle that they portraying all the time, you get a false sense of reality. And that's why when you have a lot of these people, let's say, you start a page, you start a channel of your life or whatever the case may be, you have to do things to continually engage people, you know.
Hmm.
So so in order to keep the viewership, okay, I've been at the house for a month. Now I need to go on a trip. So now you
Yeah.
go on a trip that's costing money, you know, and now I need to go on another trip to keep the viewership up. So
that's
it's like
why
you
it's
trying
called social media. Is media. You got to keep
yeah,
giving people the
yeah,
things.
yeah. So you trying to keep up with a lifestyle that I mean, until you get to a point to where you can actually live up to that lifestyle is different. But trying to start up to live up to that lifestyle and what people are really viewing, it ain't always the case of what you may be seeing.
Like, and that's why I said, like, social media also allow people to just forget about integrity just to go rival. They just want to do anything to be that next social media splash to make a little dollar or something. So the integrity of a lot of people is going out the window, like with these pranks and all that. Like the shit is becoming crazy and even worse and worse. And then, just you see the things that people do, just anything for money. And that's another thing social media has turned the society is morals has been thrown out.
Got you. You Cheese got a question down there. He said, "What's your thoughts on dating coworkers?"
I've never dated coworkers. I had never
Fuck
made.
those telling on itself. That's
Yeah.
that's a that's a that's a no, bro. That's a no.
Uh-uh.
Nigga, that got HR written all over it, bro.
Mhm. That's you going straight. You going fire.
You heard it there, Cheese. No, don't do it.
Don't
Yeah,
do.
bro. Ah,
You heard
Cheese,
it from the
Cheese got his
don't
eye on something out there, huh? Cheese.
yeah, yeah,
leave that shit alone. It ain't gonna end good, Cheese. Leave it
yeah.
alone.
Nigga, that's HR termination, nigga. Gone.
Cheese got his eye on something. He like, yeah,
Leave that shit alone, Cheese. Don't do it, my brother. Anybody
dating coworker. Yeah, cheese, crazy cheese.
else out there? Anybody else out there got a question for us before we move on? What she said. I have when I was 18. It was cool, but it ended bad. That's what they were just talking about.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
But see,
You
that was
can't. You
when
can't.
you was young though. You got that out the way. That's when you was younger. Cause now though, nah. Mm-mm.
Yeah, for sure. You can't let relations mess with the bag. You know. You already know that's a possibility happening. So
Mhm.
don't let relations
That
mess with the
that's
bag.
a good position.
Let
You can
let that be
definitely.
what it is.
Who else out there? But y'all got for us, man. Y'all got a question out there before we move on. We got another topic.
yeah, that social media thing, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that shit is crazy. I ain't gonna lie about that. Cause like a lot, like you said, man, a lot of people let people get in their business and they only posting a few objects on Facebook to make it seem like they living this great lifestyle. And when that camera go off, you ain't that same person no more. You in that motherfucking house crying. You in there pulling your hair out. You in there mad at the kid. You want to whoop the kid's ass shit in there when shit ain't going right. Like so,
You gotta figure it out, man.
yeah, you got to figure that out.
Hey, they,
Already
hey,
have,
they,
but there was
they,
no
they,
involved. Go
they
ahead, Tank.
posting sports. They posting Sports Center top 10 plays of the week. You know what I'm saying? They just posting the highlights, bro.
That's
Top
Mhm.
it.
10
That's all they.
plays of the week. That's what they posting. Right,
Mm-hmm.
but there was no HR involved. Ah, see, I told you. I told you the nigga was telling on himself.
Oh man,
Yeah.
he said he did, but no HR involved. So hi. So what happened then, Cheese?
Mm-mm.
Ah, this nigga trying to get juicy.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Shit, that's what we here for, yo, Cheese. They don't let us know what happened with that, man.
Allegedly, what happened, Cheese? What
Yeah,
was
allegedly.
allegedly?
I'm sorry, my brother.
Yeah.
What allegedly happened up at the job,
What,
Cheese?
what had happened was
Was it a lesson learned, or how it ended, Cheese, or is it still going on the side?
hey
Just
man.
to
Hey,
note,
look,
just to note, we at Black and Talkative, we do not condone or support anything terms of sexual harassment. We support victims of sexual harassment. So anything that she say or done that's on his own accord, and Black and Talkative, we with them victims. So just note that. Just put that.
Hey, hey, me, J Hoover '07, I approve that message.
We approve that message
I
on Black
approve
and
that
Talking.
message. Hey, hey, look, bro.
We don't
I'm,
miss
I'm gonna
those.
have to. I'm gonna have to talk.
Yeah,
Am I
Jay.
breaking up or y'all breaking up?
Nah, you
Okay,
broke
nah. I
up.
was gonna say I'm gonna have to talk. I'm gonna have to talk to y'all offline. Man, I ruffled some feathers today about some religious conversations. I was Jay. I had to clock in this morning, man, and they was just
Oh, shit.
pushing the buttons. And
Oh man, talk
I
about it
ruffled some
after
feathers.
this
I think
last
I may have
topic,
lost some
man.
people.
You can talk about it after this last topic.
Definitely
Man,
talk
I
about that.
ruffled some feathers.
Oh shit. He said, as a black man, what are some pressures you wish society did not force on
Man.
You gotta be as a black man. You gotta be non-threatening as hell.
you?
You know what I'm saying? You gotta be like non-threatening. You gotta, especially, you know, for what I do, right? I'm in the oil field, but I do QC, right? And QC is quality control, and it's like
Oh.
you're expected to be like a intellectual type person, right? And I know I don't necessarily look I'm that's but
Hold on, Jay. It's breaking
freaking
up.
You breaking up some, G.
Hold on. This shit breaking up a little bit. It broke up. Hold on, Jay.
Yeah, he froze right now.
This shit froze up. He gonna come back. There you go. Hold on. He gonna come back.
Probably gotta cut your Wi-Fi off. But what was the question though?
It was, as a black man, what are some pressures you wish society did not force on you?
Oh man, just damn, Jay. Just what expounding what Jay was saying, like at certain parts, like me, like what I do in my field and all that is just basically like being intellectual, and then sometimes you can't even be too intellectual because you intimidate people, and that's what I was gonna get to. Like it's not even that they want you to be that intellectual. Sometimes they just be scared of your intellect and don't so it's like a lot of pressures of that. So you gotta just is sometimes you just gotta know how to walk that gray area and things like that. You can't be the angry black man, or you can't be the angry black woman, or you just can't. And then, if people see that you're too damn smart, then they get intimidated and be like, damn, he could take my job and shit like that. So it's a lot of pressure that black people face and things like that. You know.
Yes, that's true. That's 100% true on there. Let me see what my
Hey, am I clear now, y'all?
broke up.
Yeah, you clear.
Yeah, you clear. Yeah, you clear, Jay. He said he broke up when
Yeah,
he got a new
yeah,
job.
yeah. I agree 100% with what
Hey,
Chris was saying, bro.
hey,
Like that stuff is,
all
yeah,
right.
that stuff is true, bro. Like you gotta look the part. You gotta be like non-threatening. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, sir. No, sir. And like I was saying, especially for me, and not only just the field that I'm in, but the position that I have. Is quote unquote looked upon like an intellectual type position. And I already know I don't necessarily look the part or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Based upon how they look at me and what I'm saying, the way that they respond to me. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
I experience that stuff a lot, dude. You know? And it is what it is because really I relish in it. Like I relish in it. Like I want you to look at me as a way, in a manner that you don't think that I know what I'm doing because I don't necessarily look the part, big black dude, you know what I'm saying, tatted up and all this other type stuff. And you don't expect me to be able to hold up my end of the bargain. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I love that to be able
Mhm.
to show you, no, I am the part. I got this based upon my experience and my intellect. You know. and they ain't ready for that.
Like some person like told me I use slang. I'm like, what do you mean I use slang? This is just how I talk regularly. Like I don't know. Like I just talk the way I talk. I don't know if I'm using slang or not, but I know 95% of the time I don't use slang. And the good thing that it was a lady, a good HR lady that was backing me. She was like, I don't even know what he's talking about. I know you don't use slang or anything, but just like little things like that, you sending an email or sending the wrong type of verbiage because it's certain type of verbiage you got to use. They trying to write you up or trying to do little things just to mess with you to get a reaction out of you. But we just got to play it cool because use slang. So what you thought I was gonna say? You thought I was gonna flip out on you and say you're being racist or nothing? I just nah, man. I'm going to HR. Going to HR with this because now I feel like you disrespected me. Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Why would
Hey,
he say?
look, Chris. But don't it make you feel good when they have a perception of you and you
Mm-hmm.
flip the script on them?
Yeah, and you flip the script, and they be and the HR lady like, I know, and they could go through the emails and be like, yeah, he probably just and I'm still where I'm at, and he's no longer where he at, and so that's just God working mysterious ways. So that always be the problem right there. So he said I use slang. I'm like,
They think
what is
y'all
slang?
be.
Like, say
They
what
think
you want to
y'all
say.
DEI.
Like,
That's what they think y'all
we
DEI.
could we could clock out. We could clock out, and you could say what you really want to say. The fact
Hey,
that
yo, I'm glad she said that. And Chris, you from the other night, I had to study up on that. What you said, like I was telling you, my brother, and I love you 100%. But what you were saying in your definition of DEI, that was wrong, brother. DEI never lowered standards. They never lowered the test anything. DEI was just created to include more people in it. It was a
yeah, but
branch.
I said I
What
corrected
Jay
that.
was
Said
saying, no, 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 no. Yeah, you definitely corrected it in the end. But what Jay was saying, DEI came from a branch of affirmative action, which affirmative action started during the civil rights movement during the 1960s. They created affirmative action so they can start to give people a equal balance and an equal playing field for minorities and for women of color, for white women, any sorts of women, anybody else besides of a white man.
yeah, that's
That's what they created
affirmative action. Yeah.
action from. And then DEI was further along written into law by Barack Obama in 2015. He was the president who signed DEI into law, and which DEI means now is it included more people like far as disabled people, more minority people, the LGBT community people. That's all DEI is right there today. And so DEI is another branch of affirmative action.
Yeah, it sounds like it's just trying to make people feel good. You talking about disabled folk? Hey, nothing against disabled folk, but I mean, god damn, like what we talking about? You feel me? If you ain't fit for the job, I don't know, bro. I think society is soft. It's soft, bro.
Oh,
Yeah,
that.
society did become soft. Society became very soft today. And we gotta look at this was the things that Barack Obama was only other like this was what he was allowed to do only. He wasn't allowed to do other things. They was down with him to do these sorts of things like that. But as far as the way coming to doing things for our people personally, it was no way that was gonna work for him.
And I like what you said. You said allowed to do. That's what he was allowed to do.
Yes, he
Mhm.
was allowed to do that because if he even tried to move in any direction to say I'm gonna do this for black people personally, it would have never worked. So you had to come up with something that was called DEI to include other people to try to get black people on a level of playing field with the rest of the world and things like that. But if he would have just said, "Hey, I'm creating black inclusion in all jobs," and that shit would have never worked. Barack Obama would have been ran out of here. They would have impeached his ass on the second half of his first term. By 2010, his ass would have been gone.
Or he would have ended up like JFK.
Oh, maybe so. goddamn right. Maybe so. What he
Yeah, that's
said.
crazy.
Used to not like people looking at me like I was some type of thug without knowing me. There's been plenty of times people were shocked when I said I never been to jail. Man, I get that shit
Yeah.
all the time. Jeez. I get that shit
Yeah.
all the time. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, bro, I'm 36 years old. I ain't never been in no jail. They
I
like,
ain't
oh,
never
you
been
never,
to jail, man.
never been. I don't know what jail is about. And at 36 years old, I ain't trying to find out what the hell jail is about. Like I tell people
Hey,
all the time, man, I go to work and I'm a law abiding citizen. I ain't trying to go to no damn prison.
I
don't
don't
go to
even know
Harris
why
County.
people be trying.
Hey, Chris, don't go to Harris County, nigga. You gonna get sick.
Oh, nah, I ain't.
You gonna be freezing. You
I
gonna
ain't
come
even
out
trying
there
to
with the
see that.
cold. You gonna have COVID. You gonna have everything when you
That ain't nothing
leave up
compared
out
to
of there.
probably Rikers
Nigga,
Island,
you gonna
nigga.
have measles, bro.
That's right. That probably ain't nothing compared to Rikers. Rikers.
My boy say he gonna have measles. That's crazy right
Measles,
there,
bro.
yo. That's some wild shit right there.
Nah, I ain't getting even getting locked up.
Of
Hell,
course, we have to include everyone. You got to include everyone. If you don't include everyone with if you don't lump everybody in with black people, it ain't gonna work. If
hmm
black people try to stand on their own and do their own thing, it ain't gonna
they
work.
gonna shut
They
it
afraid
down,
of
man.
they afraid of. I
Yeah.
don't understand why they're afraid of us, but
You know
we don't
why.
want them.
You
Yeah,
know
yeah.
why.
Like I understand why, but we don't show that type of behavior. Like we want to be rebellious against these kind of people. Like we only rebellious against our own people. And some of the like a few of us who want to learn more about ourselves and who want to better ourselves and want the community to come together, they don't want us. Like they looking at us today like, yo, them three guys right there, man. We gonna see how far they could get along. We might have to put a stop to their shit though.
Because it's not about it's about power, man. It's about control. They don't want to give up that. You can't. It's about if you have everybody started off on the same foot, on the same equal playing field. These people that is stronger, faster, taller, you know,
Mm,
become developed quicker as babies and children start walking faster and things like that, and they
exactly.
mentally sharperly naturally. If they start off, we'll be left behind. The things that we try to do 20 years, they'll be doing 40 years ahead. That's the reason why I said it goes back to why we still using the combustible engine, because the people that's the leaders of the intelligence is not really supposed to be leading intelligence. They got good ideas and things like that, but they just took a lot of ideas that they stole from our people and expounded on that, and that's why they still using a combustible engine. And they are what Tesla did with but that's just a bunch of laptops put together and made an engine out of a car. So that's the reason why we still the technology is the reason why it is, because the true people that are supposed to be leading intellectually is not. So that's just what happens if you everybody had the same playing field. Like I just said, the people that's physically naturally smarter, the kids, the children develop quicker, everything, they'll leave other races behind. So it's more than just allowing these people to do things. Racism is just not about color. It's genetics has a big part to do with it also.
That's where it all stems from the
Mhm.
from genetics. Because let's say the regular layman, they don't really understand that. They just been programmed into a system and taught a certain belief
Mhm.
about us, you know. But the people at the top, they know exactly what time it is. They know who we
They
are. That's
know.
why they treat us
Mhm.
in the manner that they treat us.
That's
They
why they
know that
study
we're
black people so much. That's why they study. They could look at a black child and they could look at their child and be like, how the fuck is they black baby sitting up and doing all this at 4 or 5 months and my child barely, you know? If
Yeah, that's because of the
I
melanin content. That's
Mhm.
because of the
and
melanin content.
and not
You know
trying to
what I'm
sound all crazy and all that, but I've been watched a lot of kids in my lifetime and just been there and studied because I'm very observant, and I'm just seeing all races of children, and I see that black kids develop quicker than any other race, even with the Asian kid. That like I hate when they try to say Asians is not the smartest race. They just they just educated a lot.
They're not. I mean, if we talk about, we got to really think about it. If we talk about the fact that we are bigger physically, more developed physically, then does that mean that it's stopped at our brain? You know what I'm
Mhm,
saying? If we're bigger
Yes.
physically, then that mean that we have the capacity. That don't necessarily mean that we use it,
mhm.
right?
Yeah, that's why I
But
say, but they just
we have the
educate more,
capacity.
but intellectually they not,
They're no,
everybody is educated.
every look, everything is inferior to us, and let's just be real. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Everything outside of our dominant genetics is inferior.
Hmm.
And that's just the fact. That ain't hate speak or nothing like that. But they know what time it is with us, which is why they deal with us in the manner that they do. And I mean, this may not sound good, but I understand why they doing what they doing, because when you talk about Darwin and he talking about survival of the fittest,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
If we, let's say that we a species and we out in the wild or whatever, we gonna do whatever it takes for us to maintain our survival. And that's what
Hmm.
they doing.
Hmm.
The people at the top, that's what they doing.
No, that's
You
what
feel
they
me?
do.
But the huh?
No,
But
no,
the
that's
people,
what they, no. You go. You. I
yeah,
was just
yeah,
agreeing.
but the people at the bottom are victims of the things that they've been taught, because they don't even really know what time it is. They don't get it. They don't understand. When you start talking about dominant and recessive genetics, it's like what I'm saying, it's like a news flash to them, because
Hmm.
this is something new that they never
Yeah.
really know. You know,
Hmm. And I think some people know it. They just don't. They blind, so it's oblivious to them.
they may know it subconsciously, but they don't really. They may feel it, but they may
But they
not
don't know
necessarily.
that your everyday life is based off of it. That is like we could get down to your skin color and all. Now it is based off of genetics. That's why they want. That's
Yeah.
why they study. They got the term black body and gray body and white body. Just go look it up on Google. I wouldn't lie to you. It's a
Well, they
scientific.
got the term. They got the term chemistry from Kemet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because they already say that Kemet meant the land of the blacks, and that's what chemistry
Black
comes
body
from.
is the best. The black body is the best conductor of energy, man. That's a scientific.
Exactly. That's melanin. It's a reason why they say that melanin is worth more than gold.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a reason why most of these kids that come up missing is black. You know,
Hmm. Yeah,
Carbon-based
that is
beings. Melon
what
conducts
she said.
carbon a different way. That's why we could jump higher, run faster, and be
yes,
carbon-based beings. Our skin
yes.
color is that nobody like man. I don't want to get into it.
Hey, Chris, that's a 666, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
We'll
What she
Yeah,
start
said.
talking
All right.
about carbon. We'll start talking about carbon. That's 666.
yeah, we carbon-based beings. Nobody else like melanin is the big part, but nobody else really have carbon base in their genetics. That's why we the color that we are, and we produce different colors and things like that.
Yeah,
That's the.
because we have a higher concentration of it.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why I said 666 is carbon. You already know on the periodic table,
Mm-hmm. That's
carbon is
carbon.
number six.
Mm-hmm.
It's six protons, six neutrons, and
That's
six
carbon.
electrons.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's 666 right there.
666 right there. Mm-hmm. We
It's
conduct
encoded. Everything is encoded, bro.
Yep. That's why carbon and melanin mix great together.
It's
So
a,
I was supposed to be out here flying.
Chris and
Mm-hmm.
Jay. Chris and Jay, if you haven't, when will you have the race talk with your children?
I don't even really like gotta have that talk with
What?
them until they get of age. Like right now, like I said, I'm just letting my kids be kids, man. I don't even know if they know it. Like like not trying to be funny. I don't even know if my kids know they black or they friends white, or they probably do, but they probably don't pay attention to it right now because they don't. I don't want
No,
them
they
to
know they
even.
black and white. Your kid's 10 years old, maybe your daughter, but your son
Yeah,
that's
but
ten,
I'm
he
saying,
black and
What?
white.
I'm saying figuratively, like they don't pay attention to that shit, like really or
Yeah, yeah,
anything
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Nah, kids, nah. Let kids.
I'm waiting till my sons come up to me and be like, "Hey, something," and then that's when we'll have that conversation. But right now,
Can you elaborate? Um, the comment went down, but whoever commented that, can you elaborate on what you mean necessarily about race?
the
Like,
racism,
what is that meaning? Like telling them that like we're
they black
superior?
or like that part and everything, or because
What kind?
Because we gonna know who we are. We gonna know that we different. But I'm talking like in terms of like, are you saying like saying that we're the dominant race?
like, of
Like,
course, I'm gonna have that talk with my son. But yeah, of course, I'm gonna wait till he of age to understand it. Right now, at 10, he'll hear me, but he'll be like, "Man, what?" Yeah, yeah, you know. So maybe when he like 13,
Yes.
14, and understand more, yeah, I'll sit down and have that talk with him about race and all that, and when he'll face the struggles and life and all that. But right
I,
now, he's 10 years
You
old.
see,
You know.
all right. He said, meaning they will be judged for wearing a hoodie like Trayvon Martin.
oh yeah, I look. I had that conversation. I had that. I mean, my son is only 4 right now, but I had that conversation with my nephews years ago, and I told him what I said was, one day you're gonna understand what it means to be a black man in America. You know, and that
Mm-hmm.
was when they was like 8, 9 years old. You feel me?
I think
And
as black parents, right?
yeah, I just left it at that. At that point, you feel me? To where now they're of age. Now they're finna turn 18 and 16. You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy that question just popped up because maybe a couple months ago I went to one of their little birthdays and one of them got tatted up. He got a tattoo on his forearm and it's big as hell. You know what I'm saying? I told him, I say, look, bro, I'm not faulting you for getting that, but understand that people are gonna put you in a box. You know, they're gonna put you in a box based upon your skin color and based upon the fact that you have tattoos, and it may not look quote unquote professional. You know,
Mhm.
what you need to do is make sure you understand what you're gonna do with your life before you get any more. You know, in that area. You know, don't be getting stuff on
Mm-hmm.
your forearms because people should judge you. You know what I'm saying? That's how we survive as people. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So I don't blame nobody for putting me in a box because, like I said earlier, I know I don't necessarily look the part. I get that based upon their standards, based
Yeah.
upon what they said. I know I don't necessarily look the part. So that's fine. Put me in a box long as I am the part. You know, but I had that. I'm gonna have that conversation with my son once he get of age. You know what I'm saying? And once I can actually grasp what I'm trying to give to him.
Because I think
Definitely.
as black parents, as black men, it's definitely our duty to definitely have that conversation with our kids, black boys, and my daughter. Just to
I'm about to
understand, but when they get of age and they could grasp of understanding, to just to first love yourself as a black person. First see you, don't let nobody make you feel bad for being black, or try to make you feel less for being black. That's the first conversation would you have with them, that you're intelligent, you're beautiful, that you're a king, you was here before anything. Just have those conversations to understand the essence of being a black person. That's a lot of things we losing with the youth too. A lot of youth don't really understand the essence of black culture or being black. They think black culture is just hip hop and rap music and gang culture and whatever the rappers or the athletes is doing. So you got to just teach them about the essence of being black. So that's the first conversation I'm gonna have with my son when he old enough to grasp that and everything. Because my daughter right now, and I'd be like, you black, and she hit me with that light skin stuff. Be like, nah, you black, I'm white. Because
no.
she only 4, but it'd be
Uh-huh.
funny when I be like,
Uh,
Sabia, you black? She'd be like, no, you black, I'm white. So that's just the
yeah, that's
innocence
definitely.
right there. And we'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
no, you black, girl, you black. She'd be like, nah, boy. But yeah, definitely when my son get older, he definitely know he black. So
Yeah,
already, yeah,
definitely.
he know he black. But when he get old enough, he gonna understand what it means to be black and shit. And then we can
Definitely
have the
being black in
conversation
America.
about Trayvon Martin and stuff and everything, and what he learning in school about civil rights and everything and things like that.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. But he said, at this age, is there anything you avoid doing because you are a black man? Yes,
yeah.
I avoid what I do. My number one thing I do not ride in the car with four black niggas. No,
There you go.
I am not riding the car with. That's why I got a two-seater. It ain't four niggas riding in my truck. No, I'm not doing it. Nah, but in all seriousness,
I
though,
say hell no. What the fuck? I
the hell
do it.
no.
What the fuck? Hell no. I don't think that's. I do what the fuck I feel like. What the fuck? What the fuck? Hell no.
No,
If man, if the good
like
Lord gonna
certain,
have it for me to
certain shit
get
like that, bro. I ain't doing that though, for real though. In all seriousness though, like, nah, I'm not riding
four
around with a
niggas, I don't even think I'm
car.
cool with four niggas to be riding around in the car with four niggas in the first
That's what
place
I'm
like
saying.
that.
Like,
Anyway,
come on,
like I ain't
nah,
gonna.
we ain't doing that. So that's
Yeah.
one thing I'm gonna avoid. You know, one thing, yeah, I like, but seriously, I avoid trying to be into any police
Mhm.
contact. Like, I don't want to be around none of that shit. I ain't trying to, I ain't trying to be involved in no illegal activity, none of that shit as a black man today, especially at being my age. I'm taking my ass to work and I'm going home.
Yeah, I try. I try my best not to fall into the stereotype. You know what I'm saying? The stereotypical nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's why it kind of like pains me a lot of times to where we all know the narrative that we have around our people, right? And it pains me when I be out and about and I see us falling into that same stereotype. And I'm like, nigga, like
Mhm.
this, like, stop giving them fuel to the fire. You feel me? So all the narrative that they put upon us, I try to just stay away from those. I just try not to be all
Mm.
loud and rambunctious. You know what I'm saying? I try not to be a real nigga. You know what I'm saying? And all of this
Yeah,
other type stuff to where I'm trying
yeah,
to always, you know what I'm saying, uh, fight. You feel me? Can't back down from a situation. Can't diffuse a situation. I try to stay away from that
But
type
I
of
think
stuff.
that just comes with being a man. That's what I said.
It
Is
does. It does, but you got a lot of men because you got to understand, which I know you already do. Like we was raised differently to where we thought that being a man was being tough. You know what I'm saying? We the only people who say I'm a real nigga, meaning I get ignorant. I'm a
yes,
jump.
and that shit
I'm a
You know
sounds
what
real
I'm saying?
ignorant motherfucker,
yes,
right?
that
I'm
shit
a
sounds
I'm a
really
jump.
stupid, brother.
Yeah, I'm gonna get crunk. I'm gonna be
Dumbass
belligerent and
motherfucker.
ignorant. You know, we the
Damn.
only people that
Belly,
Yeah,
do that.
Belly,
that's
did you
all.
ever get to your last question, or you never got to that one?
We good. We good. We gonna save that for Wednesday night. But what Cheese said, hold on before I started to truly understand racism in middle school. Trayvon Martin went to school in my neighborhood. Went to school with his cousin. Yeah, like, see,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. See, yeah, that's the first time I ever heard somebody like knowing that them like that personally and shit. Like, during that time, that was a
Nah, but
fucked up time. Man.
Sean
Like,
Bell was before Trayvon Martin, so we seen some shit like that happened
yeah,
in New York.
I wasn't there
You
when
know,
Sean
they
Bell
shot
happened.
that man 50 times at his wedding, the
On the
night
morning of his wedding.
the eve of his wedding or something like that or
Yeah.
some shit. But
So yeah,
yeah,
we was kids when Sean Bell happened. So like, I had an understanding of racism. Well, shit, I had an understanding of racism when they shot the African dude in
yeah,
Harlem.
yeah.
What was his name?
Harlem.
Amadou Diallo. When they
Yeah,
shot
and
Amadou Diallo 40, well, when they shot at him 41 times and hit him 19 for him dropping a wallet. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I understood racism at a young age, and I was
Yeah,
only
in New
like about
York,
9
we was in New
at that
York.
time.
That shit was been hitting, before Trayvon Martin. Not, Trayvon
Yeah,
Martin
now
just was the first time it hit national news because that stand your ground shit was so crazy. It was the first time a civilian really got away with that shit. So
Yeah, with stand
that
their
stand your
ground like that.
ground
But
and all
even
that.
in that case with the Trayvon Martin thing, like I knew that that case was gonna be bullshit from the beginning because the
They didn't
state,
arrest
like
him till
the
like
state wasn't.
5 days later, right?
Yeah, no, he wasn't arrested till like a month or two later, like until it started to hit national news. Like it was a big thing down there in where they was that in Orlando. It was like near, well, it was like a suburb outside of Orlando, Florida, and it was big time news down there and shit. But it hit national news like 2 months later. That's when they finally locked whatever fat boy name is Zimmerman,
Yo,
when they
Zimmerman
locked
and
it up and shit. But once I started to like follow the case and watch it, like start getting into the case, I already knew Zimmerman was gonna walk away because like the state case wasn't that strong. They playing these videos. You hear somebody in the video yelling. This dude got a little gash on his forehead. But at the end of the day, all in all, George should have been in jail because you clearly hear on the operator tell him, do not follow nobody. Like you're not a fucking cop, George. So George was looking for trouble that night, and you killed the 17-year-old boy, and he got crucified in the media because he was suspended from school for smoking some weed. Like I never in my life thought that somebody getting suspended for smoking some weed, you could crucify them in the media. White people could play around and
And
have skin.
Zimmerman just allowed allowed the cops to go crazy because they say, "Oh, civilian got off. Oh, so we could really, then Mike Brown happened, Philando Castillo, this one, that
Yeah,
one,
even the small
George
guy,
Floyd,
Tamir
that
Rice. Tamir Rice was 11 years
Samir
old.
Rice didn't get 6 seconds. They shot him right as soon
Shot
as
him
they
when they
got out
pulled
the
up.
car.
Like they shot
Yeah,
Tamir when they pulled up. They didn't even
like
get out the car to see. And the lady told him on the phone too in that situation. Yo, I think the kid is playing in a park with a water gun or something like that.
mhm.
Police pulled up and
And shot
opened
him
the
through the
door,
window,
shot
like
through the
yeah,
window, the door halfway open, and you shoot an 11-year-old kid like that.
mhm. Yeah. So
You know what I mean? Like I understood like a lot of racist shit happened in this country, and even with the police and shit getting the benefit of the doubt with all that nonsense that they having with this qualified immunity, all like things like that shit need to change in law enforcement. That qualified immunity need to go. Y'all
They
need to
need to just
treat
say, all right, you
need
got
to
the mint, but if you shoot and kill an innocent person, it don't matter. We gonna take your pension away and you lose your job automatically and shit. If that shit was no just, they'll stop shooting, but they
The,
ain't gonna
th-
do that. Police unions is too strong, man.
the
that's what it
thing
is.
is,
Hey,
they should be held to a higher standard than what we
Hmm.
are
mm, yes.
because you got these police. They go to a police academy for about 6 months, right? Something like that. About 6 months, they give
Hmm.
them a gun and a badge.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, the people who are defending against these people are people who had higher levels of education for about 8 years in college. You know, so
Yep.
you got a 6 months police academy certificate versus a person who got an 8 year master doctorate degree, but you supposed to be upholding the law, but y'all ain't even on the same playing field. Like the whole system
Hmm.
is messed up because you see a lot of these cops. You know what I'm saying? They swear an oath to uphold the Constitution, and you can
Hmm.
come at them with the Constitution, and they still don't uphold it. And they got their
Nope.
body cams, and they don't even care if you're infringing upon their rights. You can tell them that you're infringing upon my rights. They'll tell you, yeah, go ahead and record me. Yeah, this is my badge number. I'm officer such and such. And they be so arrogant because they don't even care. Because they not held accountable. They get paid leave. They go on vacation. You know what I'm saying? Because the system is
Mm,
not holding them accountable for what they do. But at the same
definitely.
time, on the flip side of that, if you want to get to that question, you can.
What?
Hold on, now go ahead. Because cheese shit
But
leading in. Hold on, cheese. I'm gonna get to that one last. Cheese gonna lead into that one though.
Black cops don't get qualified immunity when they wrongfully shoot white people, as happened, and those cops go to jail or at least get fired. I don't know, cheese.
Hell
I don't
yeah.
know.
Nah,
You
nah,
gotta show
nah,
the
nah, nah, nah.
statistics
Cheese
on
right
that,
about that.
right? but
He right about that. What about the 5 black cops who did that to the people in Memphis a few years back? And you
they
know what I
not
mean?
we haven't heard anything about them, right?
All of them in
Uh,
prison. All of them in prison right now.
is it?
All of their ass got sentenced already. Yeah, all of them got. I think the highest one got like 15 years in prison or something like that for that. But yeah, all 5 of them is in prison.
But they did that to a black boy. That wasn't even. They needed that. They
It
didn't.
wasn't.
What the
But
fuck?
it's just saying that like I didn't hear none of the conservative people talking about Donald Trump to give a pardon to those 5 black cops, like how they was advocating to give a pardon to damn Derek Chauvin when they clearly seen him kneel on a man neck for 9 minutes outside. So you know what I mean.
I
It
just
is,
go back to that privilege thing, man. You know that we were talking
yeah.
about.
So
So that
look,
that's true though. Go ahead, Jay.
so look, I'm gonna tell you. I mean, I look at it like this, right? Whenever we talk about, let's say, like George Floyd, all these examples that we give in George Floyd, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was I think that was the most recent, like, drastic one that kind of swept the nation, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you got to think about it. We already know these people who are in charge of all type of publication, all type of media, everything that gets out to the world. We already know it's a few families and a few different companies and businesses who are in control of everything that reach the masses.
Hmm.
So you got to ask
Mm-hmm.
yourself, right?
Yep.
Why
Mm-hmm.
would they publicize this? Why would they publicize a white man kneeling on a black man neck, knowing what type of outrage, would be following?
It
Because if
caused.
it was,
It's symbolic, man. It's
hold on,
image.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Yeah, yeah, hold on. The thing is, it's kind of like a rhetorical question, because the thing is, if I'm in
Mm-hmm.
control of the media, I know that if I put this out, that this is going to spark outrage. That's what this is
Mm-hmm.
going to do. This is going to put us at odds with the black man and the white man. This is going to put us further at odds. And we already know one of their best methods is divide and conquer. So when you have these protests coming, and then you got these people throwing bricks in goddamn stores all over the country, you got to ask yourself, who the hell is going to Lowe's to buy some bricks to go protest? But then we find out
Hell
these
yeah.
bricks is being set up on the corner for where
Mm,
they can freely access these. But, like, goddamn, where does pallet of bricks come from? They just on the corner.
somebody dropped.
Like, come on, bro. It's all a game. It's all a
Mm-hmm.
ploy. The more
That's why I
that's
said,
their whole tactic. Their whole
yeah.
tactic is divide and conquer. Cause ain't nobody finna go down to Home Depot and go buy some goddamn bricks just to throw them. They not doing that.
I don't know none of them people. I definitely don't know
George,
none of people. Like you
George
just said,
Soros. George
yeah, that's right.
Soros.
And when you see that type of shit, it creates fear and outrage. People get scared, and then people start to get outraged, and then you start to see pallets of bricks showing up on the corner. You start seeing torches. You start to see all types of these weapons and shit popping up. People knocking down jewelry stores, stealing a bunch of shit, and like,
But that's what
where
they
are
want. That's
those
what
kids? Like,
that's
where's that coming from?
Yeah, that's what they want, because people not realizing, bro, these people got insurance policies, bro. They not sweating all of that stuff that happened. They got
Mhm.
insurance policies. They about to
That's
get
right.
all of that back.
They don't
You
give
know
a
what I'm
shit
saying?
about it.
They about to get back 10 times of what the merchandise that was destroyed or stolen. So they don't care
Mm-hmm.
about that. It's a win, it's a come up for them, you know.
Yeah, they
But
don't
they
care.
put this stuff out there to spread further divide, because they have to do this, because, like I always say, they already understand that we are many and they are few. I'm talking about the people who run everything. They're few compared to how many we have. To the citizens, it's a couple million to maybe a couple thousand. So they have to keep
Mm-hmm.
us divided. Whether it's sports
Yes.
teams, whether it's uh, Bloods and Crips, whether it's religion, whether it's whatever race you are, they gotta keep us divided, bro, because they already know if we come on one accord, it's a wrap for them. That's why they do the stuff that they do.
Hmm. Definitely, that's 100% right on
Yeah,
that one, brother.
that's a fact. That's it.
Let me see what she said when we get out of there. Are y'all comfortable shopping inside your own inside your own bag at a grocery store, even though it's allowed? I'm not
What,
doing that.
using your own bag?
Hell
Like when you
no.
go to Aldi, put the groceries in there, you shop, and then you take it to the joint, and you. I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable. First of all, like I tell you all the time, I'm a 6'3". I'm 6'3", 250-pound black man, and I walk around with a goddamn gun everywhere I go. I'm not even looking like I'm trying to steal nothing or none of that. I'm going to grab a cart and I'm putting my shit in the cart the old way, and I'm pushing the cart out and I pack my groceries. I'm not walking around the store holding no bag, putting shit inside my bag. That is not
That's some
happening.
grandma shit or something like that.
Yeah, I ain't doing no
Mm.
shit like that. Like I see it. I see it a lot. A lot of people
You
do it
gotta look.
now,
You gotta
but
look non-threatening. Why not? You
yeah,
gotta look
Like me, they gonna
non-threatening.
try to tackle me as soon as I
right.
before I get to the register.
It's
Yeah, I
allowed.
know. I
No,
know it is allowed today. It is allowed, but I'm sticking to my old ways. I'm not walking around with no bags, and I'm not putting no peppers or nothing in no bag. And I'm walking up. Hell no, putting my shit in the shopping in a little shopping buggy, whatever they want to call it. And I'm gonna get to the register. Then I'm gonna pack my shit in my
I
bag.
got people walking out the store with so much shit now.
man. It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff allowed, but that goes back to the conversation that we were just having. A lot of stuff is allowed according to the
Hmm.
Constitution, but these cops,
Yeah.
even though they know that, they ain't gonna uphold it. You know, they may uphold it for other races, but they ain't about to do it to us because they non-threat because we too threatening to them. You know,
Mhm.
Yep.
and on that same conversation, I feel like it. You know, in terms of like police reform, I feel like these policemen should only police areas that they familiar with because you
Yes.
got a lot of these cops that sit up here and say, oh, "Okay, well, I'm afraid for my life." Well, I mean, that came with the territory. That came with your job. If you're afraid for your life, like that just what happened. That's a risky job, whatever the case may be. But you got police in the hood that they ain't even familiar with. So they
Hmm.
not familiar with our mannerisms. You know, they not familiar with our body language. You know, they not familiar with our volume, and so they may
Yep.
feel threatened. They may feel threatening when it's just regular communication for us to express ourselves, and they fear their life, so they have authority to shoot because they was afraid.
That shit
They need
sounds
to stop
crazy.
policing areas that they not familiar with.
That's the problem right there. That's right. Send them to their areas where they grew up at and the environment that they came from. Send them out there. If you got these police coming out the suburbs and you sending them into the middle of the projects or the middle of the hood, what you think is gonna happen most of the time? These dudes is gonna get trigger happy. They never heard loud noise or people having an argument, a couple bottles busting. These motherfuckers ready to pull out the gun and start firing on people. Like they not used to that shit where they come from. They said, Chris, you got the hood on, you dog skin, they following you. Oh yeah, yeah. They definitely gonna follow my man Chris. They following Chris around the spot.
Where?
Like
Oh nah, they don't
they
fuck
like
with me,
you
man.
in the store with the bag and you got the hoodie on like that. They follow.
I don't I don't even
Yeah,
call
they
them.
better leave my boy alone. We all law abiding citizens, man. We ain't out here creating no trouble with nobody, man. We
Yeah.
we three we three black brothers in this world trying to make
I
it
keep
better.
this hoodie on everywhere I go. Them niggas better not say nothing.
Damn, again, then that shit came by fast though, man. Episode 20, man, came up quick and fast.
Good
We got
episode,
about a good
man.
four specials. We got about good. So that's about really 24 in the bag right there. But we're gonna keep it online though. Episode 20. We definitely gonna be back again, y'all, Wednesday night. Episode 21. Glad y'all out there rocking with us, man. I appreciate everybody who definitely rock out with us. Appreciate my boy Cheese, that nigga day one holding us down on this motherfucking YouTube shit, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. That boy Cheese hold us down. Thanks for everybody else though who popped in tonight. My boy Risky, my boy Julio Ra, Tashi Taj, definitely. I seen Cameron popping there tonight too. Definitely my boy Jay. Always thank you for coming through, my brother. Definitely, brother. Appreciate your word. Appreciate your wisdom. Appreciate your spirit. Everything on this up on this platform, my brother. Definitely. Y'all got anything to say though before we get up out of here?
Nah, man. Stand for something, fight for nothing. That's all I gotta say. Sorry.
You already know. We try to get to everybody questions out there. I'm sorry, sometimes it be moving fast, but we definitely try to get to everybody questions out there. My boy Jay, you got something before we take it on home tonight?
Nah, man, I just enjoy the build. You know what I'm saying? I like building with y'all brothers, and I appreciate the people tuning in. And let's keep going. Make sure y'all hitting that like and subscribe, and keep rocking with us.
Definitely, y'all. Definitely like and subscribe. And before we get out of here, we definitely did. We had about 52,000 viewers now on YouTube. We have 52,000 views on YouTube. We over about 154 subscribers now. So we definitely pushing up there. We starting to make our way up there, man. I know it's taking
Look at
time,
that
but we definitely
500
up
subscriber,
there.
man. Y'all get that $50 in that t-shirt, man. Get that
Definitely,
500
we got
subscribers.
y'all. We definitely, yo, man, for all our fans out there that definitely check in with us on a nightly basis, man. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all for hanging around with us on episode 20, though. But Black and Talkative, we out here. We'll see y'all again Wednesday night, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, 6:30 on the Pacific time. We up out of here, y'all. Black and Talkative.